My boyfriend cheated on me with several women. I got revenge by being unfaithful with his father. When I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me, I didn't just feel sadness. I felt something worse, humiliation. The kind that sticks to your body when you realize that while you were taking the relationship seriously, the other person was playing on two, three, four sides without feeling even a bit of guilt. I found out through his phone. Yes, I know, everyone says you shouldn't check phones, but when something doesn't add up, when you feel that something is going on, instinct is stronger. His phone was there, unlocked, vibrating on the table. I felt the urge, and what I found was more than enough to uncover his infidelity. Photos, conversations, women, some with names, others with nothing at all. Schedules, dates, promises, messages that started exactly like the ones he sent me. The same phrases, the same lies copied and pasted. I stared at the screen as if my brain needed a few extra seconds to accept that it was really happening, that the man who talked to me about the future, about plans, about stability, was living a double life while sleeping next to me. When I confronted him, there were screams, excuses, guilt disguised as remorse. He said it was a mistake, that it meant nothing, that he was confused. The classic lines, the ones everyone uses when there's nothing left to hide. I cried, yes. I screamed, too. I told him things I had been holding in for months. I reminded him of everything I had done for him, everything I had given up, everything I had believed. And after hours of fighting, of words that can't be taken back, I did something I never expected for myself. I told him I forgave him. He saw him breathe in relief, literally, as if a huge weight had been lifted off his shoulders. He hugged me. He asked for another chance. He swore he was going to change, that this time it was real. I nodded. I smiled at him. I told him we were going to try again, that I didn't want to throw everything away because of his mistakes. But what he didn't understand is that I wasn't closing the story. I was opening another one. Because forgiving doesn't always mean forgetting. Sometimes it means buying time. Time to think. Time to feel. Time to decide how to give back the exact same pain. I didn't want him to feel guilty. I wanted him to feel hurt. I wanted it to hurt the way it hurt me to see those photos, read those messages, and realize I had been the last one to find out. And that's when I thought of him, his father, my father-in-law, a man who had always been there, present, attentive, too attentive if I'm being honest, always polite, always proper, always looking at me a second longer than necessary when he thought no one noticed. I never paid attention to it. It never crossed my mind to think about him until that moment. I started seeing him differently, remembering gestures, random comments, compliments disguised as courtesy, questions that weren't entirely innocent, and something clicked. It wasn't desire. It was revenge. If I really wanted revenge, I had to do it there, where it hurt the most, where he would never imagine it. It wasn't impulsive. I thought it through. I was acting from pain. I started getting closer little by little, longer conversations, messages about supposedly family-related things, questions about the family, about his work, about his life. Nothing strange, normal things. And he responded, with interest, with attention, too much to be honest. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I did it slowly, with a smile, always remembering the photos I had seen on that phone. Everything had a reason. Every word had an intention. Meanwhile, my boyfriend was convinced that everything was fine. He told me I seemed different, calmer, more mature. He thought he had won, that his mistake had been forgiven without real consequences, and I looked at him thinking the same thing he had thought when he cheated on me. If only you knew. He was going to pay for this, and the worst part hadn't even happened yet, because the revenge was just starting to cook, slowly. I never planned to fall in love with him. I didn't even plan to desire him. That's important to make clear. What happened didn't come from impulse or from some hidden fantasy. It was born from resentment, from knowing exactly which button to press so everything would explode where it needed to explode. My father-in-law started looking for me more, at first with simple excuses, saying he needed help with something around the house, saying he wanted to ask how his son was doing because he noticed I seemed different, asking if I was really okay. I responded politely, neither cold nor enthusiastic, just enough for him to take one more step. And he did. The messages went from being polite to personal. Comments about how I looked, about how strong I was for having forgiven a betrayal like that, about how unfair his son had been to me. And that's when I understood something crucial. He didn't just like me as a woman, he admired me too. And that admiration was dangerous. I was still living with my boyfriend, sharing the bed, breakfasts, dinners, conversations about a future that no longer existed. He was convinced he had gotten away with it, that his mistake was behind us. I listened him talk, and inside I thought about how easy it is to lie when you think you've already won. One afternoon, I went to my in-laws' house with the oldest excuse in the world. I was alone. He was too. The conversation was long, intense, full of uncomfortable silences, until it stopped being uncomfortable. Exactly what I was waiting for. The decision was mutual. I cheated on my boyfriend with his own father. That was my revenge. I felt justice, as if things had finally balanced out. I knew it couldn't end there. If I wanted the revenge to really hurt, cheating wasn't enough. It had to be known. Not through rumors, not through third parties. It had to be direct, blatant. I waited for the right moment. One night, when my boyfriend came home tired, with that same false calm as always, I asked him to sit down. I told him we needed to talk. He looked annoyed, but agreed. He thought it was just another conversation, a leftover of the old conflict. I asked him if there was anything else I should know. He said no. I asked if he was sure. He looked me in the eyes and swore he was. That's when I pulled out my phone. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't scream. I showed him the messages, the conversations, the proof that left no room for interpretation. And when he saw the contact name, when he realized who it was, his face completely changed. First, disbelief, then disgust, then rage. He couldn't speak. He stuttered, asked if it was a joke, if I was crazy, if I had lost my mind. I looked at him and smiled. I told him why I did it, that I needed him to understand, that I needed him to feel the same pain I felt when I saw his photos with other women, that I needed him to know what it feels like to discover that the person you trust has betrayed you like that. The argument was brutal. Shouting, insults, denial, crying. He slammed the table, walked back and forth like a trapped animal. He kept saying he couldn't believe it, that his own father, that I had crossed an unforgivable line. And he was right. I had crossed it. But not by mistake, by revenge. That night he left. He didn't come back. The relationship shattered into pieces. Then he disappeared. He tried calling me for days. He went from hatred to pleading, from fury to guilt, as if the order of things had completely reversed. I, on the other hand, felt calm. Not happy, not proud. Calm, like someone who had finally let go of a massive weight. I lost things, of course, a relationship, a story I thought would be different, but he deserved it. I don't recommend it, I don't celebrate it, but I don't regret it either. That was my revenge. And even if many don't understand it, I do.